Uh, called like Aspire Southeast Asia, and they are the one that will really do the event yearly. Actually, we have done this for multiple times already. So
Okay.
this is sure.
You are a Malaysian company, or are you based in an international company, or you're based in Manila, or what kind of thing?
Yeah, actually, we have two offices. One is in Manila and one is in Bangkok, Thailand.
Okay. Do you do outsourcing?
Outsourcing for applicants, yeah. Yeah.
If we have requirements for programmers, experienced programmers, 7 to 8 years in experience.
7 to 8 years of experience.
In Java, in Kotlin, in banking systems, in Oracle, in .NET. So we have about 60 positions that we have to fill in. That's quite a lot, right? So as we are sourcing from all kinds of parties to fill in these positions, do you have, okay, there's one particularly strange requirement of our customers, but this is something that we have to comply with, okay? They want the programmers to only be Muslims. Like it or not, this is a requirement for this particular job. It will be a long-term job of about 1 to 2 years. Can you help us to source some of the programmers that we need?
Sure. Yeah, we can talk about that.
Do you already have this in your database, or do you need to search for them first?
We have people in our database actually, but of course, you have a special requirement which needs to be Muslim, and we're going to sort them out. I mean, we have different candidates. I mean, different people, but not all of them are Muslim. But of course, there are also Muslim. No.
Okay, so just roughly, just on top of your head, how many do you have that can fill up these positions right now, particularly Muslims? 5, 10, 20, 30, just some rough figure.
Maybe a 20 to 30, because we have a database of that, and there's a lot. I mean, we are using a program in which we can really how do you call this, sort them out through religion, because maybe it's already part of the program as well.
Oh, you also have your demographic by religion, huh? That's good.
Yep.
Where are they located?
It depends. I mean, we have candidates from different parts of Southeast Asia. We have from Indonesia, we have from Singapore, we have also from Malaysia. So it depends. So on your requirements, which countries are you looking in?
They have to be here. They have to be here. They have to work in our data center.
I mean,
the client is remote. The client is remote, but they have to be here according to the rules. They have to work in our data center in a secure environment. They cannot bring their work home.
Sure. It means it's in Indonesia, right?
If let's say, for example, they're in Indonesia, they have to come here and work in our data center here in Malaysia.
In Malaysia, I see. So you're currently in Malaysia. Yeah, I see. It's okay. We have already a pool of candidates in Malaysia.
So okay, these are the requirements. They must be able to work in Malaysia. I don't mind what kind of a nationality that they belong to, but they must be able to come to work in Malaysia. Number one. Number two, they are 7 to 8 years kind of experience in Oracle, .NET, Java, or Kotlin, or this kind of things, banking systems basically. Okay. I need about 60 to 60 of them. Then they must be Muslims. So
Okay, so three requirements.
upon request, we have 1 month to fulfill.
I see, I see. 1 month to
Ah.
fulfill. And you need like 60, right?
I need about 60, but if you cannot source for all of them, then we'll source out from different places. And the
Sure.
price has to be competitive lah.
Price has to be competitive enough.
More or less market rate lah. It doesn't have. It's not. We are not talking about below market rate or anything like that. But it cannot be too high above market rate. That kind of thing.
I see, I see. Yeah.
I think the highest you can go is market rate lah, basically.
What is it? Market rate, average.
Market rate. Yeah lah, market average lah. This kind of things.
Yeah, that's also our like term. Like it's based on the market rate.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. So can I count on you to supply that? How many would you be able to commit? 20?
Actually, like what term do you need? I mean, like do you want like those people to be like directly outsourced, or do you want like do you want to choose people first? Something like that.
Of course, you have to show it to us. We have to show it to our client. Our client will choose.
Sure. Actually, we need like a document for that. You know, we can talk about that, and we also need like the job description. Actually,
Yes.
I already like have three. Like what you said. First, they should be able to work in Malaysia, or whatever nationality they are, as long as they are in Malaysia or they have this like access to work in Malaysia. Second is Muslim, and the religion is strictly for Muslim. And the third one is like they should have like 7 to 8 years or even more like experience in Java, .NET, and other like language, right?
Correct. So before we move on to the next step will be examining the document and all that. Before we move on to the next step, I just want to know whether I can count on you to deliver how many, maybe
Sure.
Maybe 10 to 15, I can count on you to deliver. No doubt you may have 20 to 30, but after
we actually have a lot. I mean, like a lot, we actually have a lot.
A lot, that means that that criteria, right?
Of course. When it comes to programmer, I mean, that's the main like field that we are targeting as well.
No, the criteria that I said, Muslim, available in Malaysia.
Of course. Like I mean, like mostly that like what I said, in Malaysia, mostly of the people that we have in our database is Muslim. They're Muslim because I guess that's the main religion in Malaysia. And yeah, there's a lot of them.
Okay, good. Okay. So let's proceed with our topic today. I was asking about you. So what business you are doing? So you are doing HR placements, right? You're doing placements, is it? For HR?
Yeah, we're doing actually our it's an HR company focuses on like IT people. That's the primary. But we also hire different like applicants or like for different like industries like aviation, because that's what we hire executives from like different primary industries, banking, finance, business, education. So that's what we are hiring, but mostly we're hiring from the director levels down to the specialists.
Okay. Talking about for example, another aspect of things. Just now I spoke about something. I'm going to talk about something else. Not related. I have some friends who are in the business of training people. Okay. But the training package includes placement as well. So it's not just training, it's training to get a job.
That's great.
And the job is guaranteed to the trainee. Within 1 year, we will put you into a job.
Wow, that's great.
Okay. But I need to have partners to find job for me overseas that pays overseas rates.
I see.
Can you be one of our partner, the placement partner?
Sure. Which countries are you targeting?
I think we're looking at the Western countries, English-speaking countries.
English-speaking countries. So it's like mostly in Western countries, right? So it also in UK, right? I mean, like a Europe.
It can be India as well. We work through India, but the service is provided to Western countries, for example, via India. That's one way. We are also looking at putting Chinese into our syllabus so that we be able to outsource. Do you have a lot of opportunities in China for
Yep.
programmers?
Before I was like before the COVID, because they were not that strict before, so we are sending a lot of like teachers. So either in this like native English teachers or like non or near native English teachers, we're sending a lot. You know, like we're sending maybe like 20 to 30 people per month.
How much are they earning in China if they these native teachers?
You mean like for teachers, right? In
Uh,
ES. For in ES, they're earning like around 20 to 40,000 RMB, which will equivalent. It's mostly on like US, so like 40,000 RMB to USD. So it's around like 5,000 or almost 6,000 US dollar. So that's for the like native English teachers. I mean, like for Americans, New Zealanders, Canadian, you know, like
but if we have Malaysians who can speak English very well, can we sell them to China?
it depends because China is very strict. But there are, you know, like there are exceptions as long as they can really have, they're really good in English. There's an exception, you know. But the basic salary that they will get for non-natives, it's really a big difference. But they're still, they can still get around like 15,000. Wait a minute, 15,000 RMB, which equivalent to around 2,200 US dollar or 2,500 US dollar, something like that.
That one is the end salary that the teacher receive,
Uh,
or do you have to deduct for certain things first?
there's a deduction, but actually that's already the maximum that they can get 2,000 like 2,500 US dollar. That already includes their accommodation because if a teacher is going there in China, the company will really provide the accommodation. I mean, like even if they're not going to provide the accommodation, they're going to provide an allowance for accommodation. So it's really a secure like housing for those people.
Okay, my question is, what is the amount that they can bring back after deducting everything? Is it still about that figure, or
It's
that figure
around
is
like yeah, it's not really that far. Maybe around because the tax rate is just very small. So they can just get maybe around like 2,300 US dollar. That's the net that they can keep.
so about 10,000 lah. The tax in China is very low, is it?
Yeah, yeah. And also the cost of living when it comes to food and you know, like other even the electricity and like water is very low.
Oh, that's very good. So how much is that tax in China? I'm just curious about that.
The tax,
In China.
it's very small. I guess like every month they're just getting like maybe like 100 US dollar, something
Oh,
like that.
so
Or even
small. You
yeah,
earn 2,000 and you pay 100 only in tax.
yeah, actually it's
Oh, then
actually the
people
last
we should
time that
move to
I
China. We should all move to China, man. Is that
yeah,
really true? Is that true?
yeah.
You earn
Actually,
2,500 and then you only get taxed 100 USD.
yeah, actually the thing is the time where I sent Filipino teachers there, like Filipino and then as an ESL teachers there, they were just they're just getting small amount because they're not native. So they're just getting around like 1,500 US dollar to 2,000. That's their salary. And of
Okay.
course, the house is already provided. You know what? They're not even deducted with any tax. That's already the clean that they're getting.
I thought communism is all about taxing the citizen and taking the money and you cannot own any wealth and all that. But this is like negative communism. It's even
Yeah,
better than
yeah.
capitalism.
That's right. That's right. Actually, the communism there is just like the government type, but when it comes to like the people, it's not really that. I mean, like it's really good. If you're a foreigner, even whatever nationality you are, when you go to China, you're always welcome. You're always being, you're always being praised. You're always being like taken care of. You know.
Really? I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, everywhere in China they will treat foreigners well.
Yeah, yeah, actually, even not just the Americans, not just the Caucasians, but even Filipinos, even like like as long as you're a foreigner, if you're going to report something on the police, they're going to take action immediately. If you're going to report something, they're going to take action immediately. Really,
Is
that's
it?
really good
Anywhere
there.
in China, they treat foreigners very well. Not
Yeah,
not
in
just in
mainland.
Shanghai or Beijing or those kind of
Yep,
things.
not just in Shanghai, not just in Shanghai.
That is very interesting. Why do they have this kind of mentality where they treat foreigners very well?
That I really don't know. I mean, like in Hong Kong, it's not like that. I mean, the people there are rude. I mean, like not really that good, not nice to people, you know. But in China, it's really different. Like they're really going to, you know, like they love to see you if you're just walking and like you're talking with them. They're really attentive.
Really?
Yeah. In Hong Kong, it's not like that. You know, even in Taiwan, it's not like that. Even in Singapore, people there are, you know, like some kind of rude. Not all, but like most of my encounters there, they're not really nice people.
So in other words, China was blessed by the fact that all the rude people went into these islands and then they leave behind all the nice people in China, I
Maybe
suppose.
it's something like that. Yeah. But right now, it's very difficult to go there. I mean, like, even if you're vaccinated, it's very difficult. Even for Chinese people, I mean, like, even for the citizens there, it's very difficult because of the restrictions.
Okay, that they are afraid, I suppose, that we are Trojan horses bringing the virus into China by the enemy or something like that. I used to work for Hongki and Taiwanese companies. They are, I would say the word is rude. They are crude. They are not rude, they are crude. They are rough, they are rough. You would think that the rough people are coming from Mongolia or those kind of steep kind of places, but actually they come from those islands. But once you show that you are also rough, and they are rough, and you show that you can also be also rough, then everything will be okay. Then you have become buddies already. In
I
the rough
see, I
way.
see. So it's like it's Thailand.
Thailand is rough also, is it? I don't think Thailand people are rough. Thailand people are very,
Nice,
very, they
yeah,
have
very nice.
finish, they
So
have the
which
finish.
country are you talking about?
Which country am I talking about regarding what?
The crude one.
The crude one is that one, the Hongki and the Taiwan.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
The crude. But once you rise up to them, then they're okay. Then
Yeah,
okay, we are together in the crude club, so we are fine.
yeah.
Something like
So you just
that.
show them that you're also like hard type.
Okay. Okay, I would like to publish this small portion. We are going to do we are going to talk for a while. I just like to publish this small portion about the Chinese tax on video. The one that we talk about the Chinese tax to 100 USD against 2000 salary. Are you okay with that if I just publish that portion?
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
like if you just the pricing, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I always talk. I have still partners there in China, even right now, even if it's still close. Yeah, I still have partners there.
Okay, so you are looking for English teachers. Would you also be looking for, say, mathematics teachers or geography teachers or whatever kind of teacher apart from
Of
English?
course. Yeah, of course. Any like a language, any like kind of teacher, as long as they're good in English and they can teach other like subject, it's totally okay, no problem. I mean, like, but right now there's still like a difficulty because of the COVID. But after that, it will be good again. You
Can
know,
we offer them online classes instead of sending the teachers there?
actually, there's a lot of companies like that already in China. And here's the thing: if we want that, we need like a person that is inside there because the problem with this is like the access, you know, like their internet is being guarded. So they cannot easily like use like platform. They're using a platform, QQ, WeChat, ClassIn, but that's like a really Chinese based like a like platform, you know, like if you're going to use Facebook or Zoom, it's not that completely possible. I mean, it's possible, but it should use VPN and you know like other access. But
Can we use the Chinese platform instead of using Zoom and all that? We just use their platform.
yeah, their platform, yeah, and that's why I said that we need like people there. I mean, like I have partners there, and if you want to start it, as long as we can supply them like this one, we can start that kind of business. I mean, like yeah,
Oh,
because
I've got so many friends out there, thousands of friends, who are good in all kinds of subjects. They're good in economics, in law, in engineering, all kinds of engineering. So I've got thousands of friends out there that I can tell them, hey guys, you want to get some extra cash or whatever? Here's Joe, and here's me, and we can do together this platform, and we can offer your courses maybe at night or something like that. Then you can just take care of the your students. They have questions and stuff like that. Do you think that will work?
Yeah, actually, it can work. The thing is, I was looking to compete with this like a 5-1 Talk in China, because this 5-1 Talk is the primary like English ESL company that teaches online. But the problem with this is like they're offering aside from offering like it's the right market for the fee, no problem. But the problem is like they are just so like exploiting their teachers. Most of their teachers are Filipinos, and they're really good in like English because they have training. The problem is Chinese companies, they're exploiting these Filipinos. They're just paying very small amount. So if we can start something else like that, what you said, like engineering, laws, and other, and it can become like an online tutorial or like an online school that we can build. Yeah, I guess that's really cool. It can really work.
Okay, that's good. We can partner with some universities here just to give a name to the thing.
Of course, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it'll be quite a thing. Of course, I understand that it will take some work. I want to test this sort of mentality, this sort of approach. I don't believe in being the best in everything. I don't believe in being the number one in everything. Okay, there are two types of market. Number one is the market where you have to be the best, you have to be the first, you have to keep on being innovative. Okay, that is a very hardworking kind of market lah. Okay, the other market is the easy market. So I believe in tackling the easy market first. Then if you aspire to become the best of whatever, will come after that. So the easy market works this way. Mamak shops, you are in Malaysia, right?
Yeah, I heard about it.
Are you in Malaysia?
Nope. I was there before, like for multiple times already, because that's our main market. But right now I'm in the Philippines.
Okay, I'm sure there's a lot of this in Philippines as well. In Malaysia, we have a phenomena called the mamak shops. Mamak shops are coffee shops.
Coffee shop, yeah.
Coffee shop, right? But they have a particular style of coffee shop. They sell certain type of bread and certain type of tea, and anywhere you go, you have this sort of thing. Now, in my area here, in a very small radius of area, I think there are about 10 mamak shops, at least 10 mamak shops, and they are all doing very well. They're all doing very well. It's not about being the best mamak shop or the whatever mamak shop, there's enough people to go around. There's enough customers to go around.
True.
So in China, I believe with 1.5 billion people, right? China, I believe that there's enough people who wants to learn whatever thing, we don't
audience. There's enough audience for that.
Yeah, so we don't have to look at this is the number one company, we cannot compete with them, they already got everything. No, we can be some kind of a small guy.
Of course, yeah. I like that. I like that because you are not stressing to become the best immediately. I mean, like that's always the way to start. And like what you said, there is always a group of people from that 1.5 billion people, and we can really get an audience from that. Really true.
And if we cannot be the best, we can be the most fun. For example, it's more fun to join this class because the teacher is more fun or something. So we make sure that our teacher are more fun to be with or funny or something like that. So
that's right.
Then people will start calling their friends. This class is nice because they are funny, for example.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. And there's really a great need for like different teachers. Actually, the last time that the border was open, they're really looking for like specialized teachers. I mean, like for subject teachers, like history, literature. I'm a graduate of literature, and I was really like being, invited there. But I'm like saying them that I'm so busy. But yeah, I guess that's really a good idea, to start that, because if we can do that, a platform, we can do that platform, and we can like use their own like app to do the class, and that's good. We can have this like like booking system for them, so they can just choose whatever if they're going to enroll in like specialized tutorial, for example, for low like subject or like accounting subject or history subject yet. It will be good. I mean, like there are few companies out there that are doing this, but there are just few, very few. I'm telling you, there are very few.
Okay, that's good. Okay, then the next question is, for a normal Chinese guy, okay, let's look at a profile of a Chinese guy, a Chinese guy, who would be interested to learn something new. Maybe he's in his 20-year-old or 30-year-old, for example, that kind of people, you know, that kind of profile. Given that kind of profile, that what kind of salary they earn, how much would be something that entice them to pay every month? Let's say, for example, they put aside 20 USD a month. Is that something cheap for them?
It's cheap, actually. It's cheap.
So we
So-
can aspire to just do something 20 USD a month, for example, for one class for 1 month.
For example, yeah. Actually, we can start at that, you know. But yeah, actually, that's cheap because the thing is, here's what I noticed in China market. Like, there are kids there, especially the younger generations, like the people that are like 10, 12 until 15, you know, or even like younger. They're being forced to learn a lot of things, really a lot. I had students there before who are learning, you know, like who's learning like swimming, violin lesson, piano lesson, English lesson, mathematics lessons. Like, oh my God! And I was even like asking the parent, how is it that your children in China are all like that? I mean, like they're always like that. And she just said, oh, this is the culture here. I mean, like every one of our kids, you know, every one of our kids should have this discipline, should have this mentality that they should learn while they're still young. I see.
Okay,
Oh, like
let's say, for example, I try to avoid certificate programs where, you know, the student have to earn some certificate at the end of the program. Let's say I avoid that. Given what you said just now, they are interested in learning new things. Yeah, you are in literature, right? Let's say, for example, I organize um, acting classes with a background in literature. For example, the topic this month can be Macbeth. Do you study Macbeth in your literature?
what is
Macbeth,
it?
Shakespeare.
Yep,
Macbeth. Right?
Macbeth. Yeah, Macbeth.
Macbeth, right? You studied Macbeth. So let's say this month we are going to learn how to act Macbeth.
Yep.
Okay. You know that Macbeth is a story about, it's a very intriguing story about politics, about treachery, about
Treachery. Yeah, yeah.
scheming, you know, right? Right?
Cunning. You know,
Very
scheming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So we teach the children how to act. For example, if you are Macbeth, how would you act the role? If we take a few scenes from Macbeth, we say, okay, let's say, for example, now, I mean, we want to be fun for the children. So the Macbeth has just met the three witches. So we have the three witches as a teacher here, and then we ask the student, you act as the Macbeth now. You are meeting with the three witches.
Yeah.
So how do you talk to the witches? We are teaching them how to act.
Right. Right.
At the same time, we are teaching them how politicians think.
That's very common to them. You know, like that's very common to those like Chinese people. You know, like there's a lot of people that I met, but I've never met as cunning as, you know, like the culture in like Chinese. They're really like that. You know,
No,
it's really
because
interesting.
China is a country that has been over 3,000 years, been involved in all these cunning things. They have gone from dynasty to dynasty, and then within one dynasty itself, there's a lot of, it's a feudal system where, you know, one guy goes up, one guy goes down, and then you know, Marco Polo comes in, and then the emperor likes him, and then somebody tries to, you know, that sort of thing.
True. Yeah.
3,000 years of tradition in that area. A lot of books written about that, from Sun Tzu to Confucian to all kinds of things.
True. True.
So they are really very centric in that area.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
They really know how to play that game. You know, like they're really cunning. You know, they're really using their wit.
yes. So for example, okay, coming back to the classes, we can hold, for example, acting classes. So acting classes is easy because at the end there is no certificate. We can give certificate, but there is no such thing as university certificate or whatever. But still, the children are learning something.
course, of course.
And we are not aiming for 2,000 per student. We are aiming 20 USD per month per student, 10 USD per month per student, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, that's really like cheap for them. They can really afford that.
So can we
No?
work on that, for example?
Of course,
That sort of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So I have a lot of friends. I can ask them, okay, you know, what kind of things that you like to join in, and then we'll see what kind of response that we can get from this.
Yeah, like if we're going to organize that, I'm just going to, like contact people there in China, which my partners, and we're just going to organize the marketing there.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, that's one manpower that we can provide and sell to China almost immediately, because I think it's just take maybe 2 or 3 months for us to prepare ourselves to, let's say, for example, conduct acting classes. Then we pick up Winnie the Pooh. We can pick up Macbeth. We can pick up Transformers, for example. If you are a Transformer, how you carry yourself.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, modern as well, not just all of those like like a classic. We can also like add modern like literature.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so that's something we can work on. Okay, coming back to our subject. You are going to have how long is the convention or event that you're going to hold?
Actually, it will be, last time it was 2 days, but right now it should only be one day, and it will start around like around 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. But of course, the speakers should only be present on their time. For example, if they are going to speak around 2 o'clock, then they're just going to speak. They're just going to be present on 2 o'clock on the webinar time, on their own time. And after that, it will be just around 30 to 35 minutes to 40 minutes the talk, and then we're going to give the 15 minutes for the question and answer, so that like they can have an exchange of ideas.
Okay. So you are going to have something like 7 or 8 speakers,
Maybe more.
but you only have one day.
Yep.
Only one day, and then you have 1 hour per speaker. So you maximum is
Yeah,
8.
maybe something like that. Like
8 speakers, right?
yep. Maybe we're just going to choose like 8 speakers. 8 or yeah.
So the main topic is how to grow out of this COVID situation, right?
Yep, I like that. That's the theme. And if you are in this, for example, if you are in the, for example, if you're in the logistic or trade and business, then you're going to give your topic there. I mean, like create your topic in accordance with the theme, because that's the theme, like how to overcome the situation, right? So in that industry, you're going to, for example, if you're in the trade and business, and you're just going to tell them that what are your strategies in like overcoming this uncertainties.
Okay. You are going to have an assortment of people, about 200 of them from all over ASEAN.
ASEAN, yeah, that's right.
And you're going to have businessmen, you're going to have government people, you're going to have academicians, right?
True,
So
yeah.
I would like to capitalize on that situation. Capitalize on the situation that you're going to have a good mix of audience from all over ASEAN. Okay. And I would like to use it to send a message to ASEAN countries, how ASEAN countries can unite to come out of the COVID situation.
Great.
This is an excellent platform to give this message.
Yeah,
how
true.
ASEAN countries can unite. So I'm not going to look at particular, for example, logistic, what you need to do, IT, what you need to do, HR, what you need to do. This is very specific to the industry. But what I would like to do is I would like to talk in global terms. This is how the ASEAN countries should unite together, so that we can together go out of the COVID situation.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Okay, that is the overall idea. First of all, I will have to show the ASEAN countries why we should unite. Why we should unite. You see, ASEAN countries at the moment are growing at very different speed compared to each other. We have Indonesia, which is going medium fast, but they are already robust in terms of their systems, their legal system, their society infrastructure. They are quite stable, so they are going medium fast. Now we have another country, let's say for example Cambodia and Laos. Cambodia and Laos is not so robust in terms of their society infrastructure. Their legal system. I mean, for example, legal system doesn't mean you kill people or something like that. Legal system means, for example, your law regarding fintech. So they don't have those kind of things yet. They don't
Yeah.
have the law regarding fintech, but then the law regarding fintech require you to have a certain law before that, your financial system law. Even their financial system law may not be that stable yet, for example. May not be that robust, you know. So they still have a lot of infrastructure to be built before they can reach like a country like Indonesia, for example. But they are moving faster than Indonesia
Hmm.
because of their proximity to China, and China is bringing manufacturing down to Vietnam, for example,
Hmm.
and because of as hedging against embargo. So because they, China is afraid somebody will put an embargo on them, so they move their factory to Vietnam. Because the factory are in Vietnam, the activities in Vietnam, so there could be, all the banking and financial we also have to be there, and then that give rise to fintech technologies where this thing can be faster. So you need to have the law. So those the kind of associated things that give a different character to Indochina as compared to Indonesia. So it's not just speed. It's not just that Indonesia is moving faster, not so fast. Cambodia is moving fast. It's not just looking at speed alone. It's also looking at your engine. Okay, you can go fast, but can your engine last 20
True.
kilometers? Can last 50 kilometers? Right? You're not ready for that yet. But here, Indonesia is going slower than Indochina, but they are ready with the engine. And Malaysia is a different case. And Philippines, of course, is a different case. Philippines is reeling from the Marcos era, now back to Marcos again. And then how do you cannot use the same formula that Indonesia is using because of the differences. And
True.
Indochina cannot use your formula, Malaysia cannot use everybody. However, there is room for everybody to work together. And the reason why you need to have this working together is because COVID is causing disruption in the supply chain from the source right up to the distribution, right up to the destiny where you want to distribute. You need to have supply chain logistics because you can transfer money anywhere. You can transfer paper anywhere, but you cannot eat money and you cannot eat paper. You still need to
True.
have the rice to be there, the meat to be there, the chicken, the vegetable need to be there in front of the person. So you still need to have all this. Now, what is happening in COVID is different countries got different policy. China, for example, very strict. In Singapore, slightly strict. Indonesia, quite liberal. Malaysia is quite liberal. So sometimes you have a lockdown in this country. This happened during the COVID time. There was a lockdown in this country, and the manufacturers have to quickly shift for different suppliers. Quickly
True.
shift. Otherwise, they cannot meet certain requirements. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like computer chips, memory chips, and all that. There was a lot of shifting going around during the COVID times. So because of that, the ASEAN countries got to this one area where they have to work together to make sure that ASEAN as a whole provide a stable base for other countries to capitalize. For example, China. China has a very big demand for a lot of things. So China can be dealing with Thailand on one hand, can be dealing with Indonesia or Singapore, Philippines on the other hand. But each of them got their own risk, and China got to manage that risk. So instead of that, if we work together, the big companies in Indonesia can have presence in all over the place, or partners or whatever, and then they distribute the risk. So if this one
Yeah.
is affected by COVID, you shift it from over here, but it'll be on the supplier side to do the shifting, not on the buyer side. So the buyer side can focus on marketing and selling. The supplier side can focus on supplying. Instead of the buyer got to think also of supply
True.
on
True.
top of selling, it's two different
Yeah.
problem, a big problem for them. So I mean, that's one area where we need to put together. There are also different areas where ASEAN can work together, and because we work together, we fill up the holes. People
True.
talk about you take a bottle and you put in all the big rocks in the bottle. So once you put the big rock in the bottle, you can see all the holes inside there. And then you put another bottle, another big rock, you can see another type of holes in there. But if you put together the big rock and small rock and everything, then all the holes are covered. this can happen only when you are united.
True. True.
Right? So first of all, of course, I've got to talk about how ASEAN can be united. How in specific terms, which industry, what we
Yeah.
need to do, where is the gap, who can fill up the gaps. So in that manner. Then we move on to things like, so basically that is the main message that I want to use this platform to talk about. From the overall economic term. So it can cover education, for example, education, like some countries are good in this, but some countries are not good in this. So we put together and then we can come up with a total solution, that sort of thing. Okay, so what is the message here? The message here, that is the main message, but what is the whole story of the message here? The story is like this. We just come out from COVID. During COVID, for 2 years, every country was affected in different ways.
True.
We go through some damage. So what kind of damage did we go through? We increased our debts, for example.
True.
Okay. So there were some damage suffered. Now we are out of that period. We are moving ahead. But the damage is still not yet fully recovered. Your
True.
debt is still there. We still need to pay off the debts. You only see that the trajectory is going up, but what is the aftermath of the previous thing is still there.
True.
Okay. So now for the future, we have to think about this. If it continues to go, how should we manage our previous things so that we can quickly cover back all those things? There are a few types of debts. For example, is money debt. Money debt is one thing. The other one is education debt. Education debt is where education was stunted for many countries. Now we have to catch up for those years that were affected.
True.
Bring it back to normalize it, normal schedule, quickly chase after it. Okay. Now, the future is like this. Number one, everything goes fine. How should we work towards covering this? We should think now, not be happy with what's going on, but we should be happy. We should use what is going on to cover the past first. Then we can be happy. It's not time to be happy to party yet at the moment until we have done that.
True.
If everything goes fine, if suddenly there are other catastrophes happening, new mutant of COVID, for example. So the countries need to look at their preparation for this COVID. Now they have these debts. Now they are recovering. How much are they paying the debts now so that they can, if something were to happen, they can continue to incur more debts.
Yeah.
So increase their capacity to borrow by using the current moment.
Yeah.
Right. So we also have to be prepared for this calamities. What are the possible calamities? Okay, they all derive from climate change. So from climate change, we have all these zoonotic diseases. We have COVID. We may have different mutations of COVID. We also have the monkeypox coming out and all kind of funny stuff coming out. So disease is one thing. The other one is your flooding and your weather changes, and this affect, for example, your heat and all that. So because of that, fish are dying in the sea. Food does not grow like before, does not grow as much as before, things like that. So climate change is another threat to us. Climate change, diseases. Of course, war is one thing. The one in happening in Europe. So we don't know what direction that's going to take, whether it's going to escalate or what. So that's human-made, but also another issue. So whether or not it's human-made over there, but we are in ASEAN, we have no choice, but we have to suffer. So we have to be prepared for this. So it's not just, so the journey from before to now is like this. We suffered for 2 years. We are in pain already now. We have some parts of our body that is already damaged. Now we got some good time. What do we do during this good time? And how do we prepare for the future if something else were to happen.
Yeah, that's really true.
I think this is, so in order for us to be able to go through this journey, it cannot be Indonesia by themselves. It cannot be Cambodia by themselves. But we have to work together and see how we can weave this story together. Okay, and become strong like a net. Yeah, like a net. So that if the net doesn't fall because they are put together.
Yeah,
If you cut the net, then something will fall. Right, portions of the net will fall, but you put together the net, then they won't fall because everybody is supporting each other. So this is the main topic that I want to talk about.
wow, that's wonderful.
Because you have that audience, you have everybody from every sector from ASEAN in that audience. So I want to capitalize on that moment to tell people this is what we need to do.
Yeah. Actually, I guess that's a really great message, like to the people, because that's like, how unification works. Like, how can we survive as a whole? And, it's really important because we're in the same area, the Southeast Asia. So that's really important.
Correct. We are a very important trading route. We are a very important trading route. Southeast Asia has
Yeah,
been for centuries. We should capitalize on that. Okay, like China, they saw the opportunity. People can cut across their land. Immediately they saw the opportunity, right? But in terms of
yeah,
sea, they have to work together with us. So it's belts and roads. Belts is the one, and roads is the one. Then what you say in terms of strength, you look at United States, for example, the #1 country in the world for so far, right? So why are they strong? Because they're put together, all their countries, all their states are
true.
working together.
It was unified, like they have already 52 states. So that's how they become strong, unified.
Yes. And also Europe. Europe also, now they are becoming strong because put together. And
UK.
China, you imagine all the provinces in China working separately. Then they won't be as strong as what they are right now because they're working together. They're putting together all the resources so that
True.
there's a synergy there happening. Okay, another example is Central Asia. Central Asia got all the Uzbekistan and all the Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan and all that. And Uzbekistan doesn't like Kazakhstan doesn't like Uzbekistan. This guy doesn't like all the other stan. So I'm the Uzbekistan gang. I'm the Kazakhstan gang. I'm not this gang. And you can see this is an area that has an enormous potential.
True.
Central Asia, they have oil, they have
Yeah.
mineral, and they are right in the middle there for
There's a
China
lot
to
of
go to.
resources. Yeah.
China can go to Middle East through them. India can go to Europe through them.
For them.
But
Yeah.
they are nowhere half of United States in terms of strength, for example, because they are not united. So coming back to what you said, yes, it's true that ASEAN got to be this unity. So this is the message that I want to bring in that day, and specifically how, not just a general message, but how in the current context should we do it.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. I mean, I guess that should be the message that people should hear. People should understand and people should reflect because it's very important.
Okay, so if you are agreeable, then I will work on it. Basically, that will be the message that I want to talk about.
Sure. You just need to, actually, it's really there. I mean, like the education sector, the trade and business sector, it's there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So we have primary industries. For example, primary industries are resources, natural resources, like oil, gold. We have,
Minerals.
ASEAN, we have gold, we have oil, we have uranium, we have all kind of things.
Yeah, there's a lot. In
Then
Philippines,
also,
a lot.
yeah, exactly. You have coconut, for example.
Yeah.
You're talking about graphene and all this kind of thing. There
There's a
are
lot.
mineral-based graphene. There's also coconut-based graphene. And oleochemical is a very important chemical for human beings. Oleochemical, coconut, your stearic acid and this kind of stuff. So then we also have manufacturing. But if we are not united, we end up as low-cost producers. We only do the basic manufacturing. This is your coconut, but you are only producing basic stuff. Then you send to somewhere else for them to produce the expensive stuff. So your bottle of coconut is like $5 one bottle, but you buy that one thing is $100 for, coming from that bottle.
True. Actually, that's really true. I mean, like, not just the oil, even like, the gold, the irons, the nickels.
Yes,
It's,
yes, yes, yes. This is where we need to be united and put together our resources.
true.
So we may have surplus resources of some sort over there. We may have shortage of some sort over there. Then how do we, put together everything and present ourselves like, United States is, for example. Then we can become strong. I think we
Yeah.
have the brains. We have the brains in ASEAN. We need to use our brains. Meaning not that we are not using our brain, but most of our brains are just lying over there. We are not fully
Yeah.
using the brain. I think the biggest resources that we need to use are our collective brains in ASEAN. A lot of clever people in ASEAN got to work together.
Like it's like strange that China is not doing that. I mean, like China is not how do you call this? Like conquering other countries, because
Yeah.
it's very dangerous. They have that, they have that kind of mindset. I mean, like they're united right now. The mainland China is united. So like I'm just wondering why they are not conquering other countries as well to make it like the second USA. Like making the other like places or countries as their states.
No, I can imagine why, because the reason why you conquer countries in the past, for example, the European countries, they were subscribing to that idea. They had the impression that they are the white people and the rest are all the dark people, Africa and all that.
Superiority.
So they feel that these are not human and they are
Yeah.
human. So these things are like your cow and your horses or whatever. So we
You're a
should use
different type of species.
different types of species. So we use them. So they go to Africa, they take the slaves, and then they exploit our whatever that we have. They take our tin, our gold, or
Yeah,
whatever else,
true.
and they exploit us. This is the kind of mentality where it's a more or less what you call a zero-sum game. Zero-sum game means I take something that belongs to somebody and I bring it to me. So if I take from a lot of people, then I become very rich. So you have all the lordship in Europe who have thousands of acres of land with so many castles and all that.
True,
They don't
true.
do any work. Why do they do any work? Because there are other people are feeding them.
Yeah,
I have a bowl of rice. I take half and give it to them, and I keep my half. So that half plus my neighbor give half, another neighbor give half. So in the end, they have a lot of rice.
yeah, true.
So this is the old way of mentality. But then China find out that if you keep on doing this to people, the people will die. Your cow will die. Your horse will die. Eventually, they will die, or they get smarter, or they fight back, or something like that. Now, what's the goal? The goal is you want to be prosperous. That's all that you want. You want to be prosperous. How you want to be prosperous is something that you can think about now. Okay, so instead of taking that way, instead of playing the zero-sum game, what they did was, okay, I do something here, then people can become more prosperous there. I produce goods, for example, cheap goods, for example. So people in Malaysia last time used to buy certain types of things too expensive. So they cannot buy these things, electronics and kind of stuff. But now I produce them cheap. So last time one household can afford one Samsung. But now one household can afford 5 phones because they are cheap. So there's prosperity then, and because the household got a lot of phones, the children can learn, they can interact, they can buy things, they can sell things, they can do a lot of things. Before that household cannot do this thing, but now that household can do that thing. So there is an increase in commercial activity. So the household prosper, and China also prosper.
True.
China is selling the so the whole goal is to prosper. That's all. I want to make my people prosper. I can do two things. I can go and conquer the country. I can take whatever is there, so that the people will not have enough. Then whatever they have to share with me. This is a zero-sum game of thinking. The other way of thinking is I don't do that. I help them to prosper. Then they will
I
make me
can
prosper.
prosper. They can make
So
me prosper.
it's
Yeah.
like building a pyramid. So a lot of people who want to take shortcut, they are up there in the pyramid. They eat the bottom of the pyramid. In the end, the pyramid crumble, the top will fall
They
down.
will also crumble. Yeah,
But
it's true.
the other way of building pyramid is to build up the pyramid. Help the whole pyramid to prosper. Then you will go up because other people are
True.
going up. So
Actually, I like that mentality.
I think China is trying to follow this way of doing things until they are forced to, fight for things and stuff like that. So maybe this is to answer your question. Why is China doing that? I think they are seeing that this is a more sustainable way of surviving than the other way.
Yeah, it doesn't include violence. It doesn't include like war, you know.
Yeah.
When you conquer a country, you really need to fight a war because that's how it happens in the past. So it's not really a good thing. I mean, like people will suffer, and even though if you're not being affected, there's a lot that will be affected, and those affected, if they will die, all of them, then who can prosper you? No one.
Yeah, like what is happening in Russia and Ukraine right now is a
True.
very expensive exercise. Very
Yeah.
expensive for Russia, very expensive for Ukraine, basically.
True. True. Very expensive.
Okay, so if you don't have anything else, this is where we end, and you let me know whether you want me to proceed or not, lah, basically.
Sure. Actually, it's okay. Like, you have a really wonderful, like, idea when it comes to your topic, because uh, it can affect everything, trade and business, logistics and chain supplies, everything, even education, being like, uh, put inside there. Yeah. I guess it's wonderful, it's really wonderful.
Okay.
So,
So you let me know by WhatsApp whether you want me to proceed. And I want to ask for your permission. If you're okay, I will publish this video to tell people, okay, watch out for your event. Your event is coming at when and when there'll be so many speakers. And also at the same time, I want them to think about this topic that we are talking
sure,
about
no problem.
unity in the ASEAN. We have not spoken about it yet, but people can start thinking about it already.
Yeah, actually, it's really good. I mean, like, this is a nice conversation,
It's my
you're going
pleasure.
to
My pleasure.
you're going to you're going to just put our like conversation. How about like our conversation regarding like at the, how do you call this, like the IT people that you want me to, you want me to help you.
Yeah. Same thing as well.
I see, I
Same
see.
thing as well in these two things. So we attract the IT people as well as we attract the people to start thinking about this.
Sure. Actually, we can talk further about that, like what you need. You just send me like the document that what your needs are. For example, the IT, or even with our other like conversation, like opportunities in China or any other kinds of opportunities. Because like I'm also glad that we met, because like we're the same mindset when it comes to doing business. I mean, like serving people, and also like receiving like some sort of exchange value.
Yeah, sure. I would be very happy to continue this conversation with you. We can schedule, for example, a weekly conversation until we see something emerging out of this. Let's say, for example, if you're okay, let's say we meet every Wednesday at a certain time.
Sure.
So we can carry on that conversation for 4 or 5 times until we can start to see everything falling into place.
Yeah, actually,
Something like
I'm
that.
I'm good for that, because like these times we really need to think about on how to. It's not about money. I mean, like money is just the benefit of doing, of value. When we provide value to people, of course, money will come, because that's the, how do you call this? That's the currency that we're using. We cannot just go to the market and like bring eggs or bring like eggplants and like can I exchange this for a phone? Can I exchange this for other grocery? We cannot do that. We have already this currency, and it's really helpful. I mean, like. I'm really glad that we have this kind of conversation, because we are alike in the mindset of thinking, progressive, and it's about like how we can give value, how we can serve people, you know.
What we should really be thinking about at this moment, you mentioned about money just now, we should not be thinking about money. What we really should be thinking about at this moment is this. This is the main thing that we should be thinking about. The earth can support, the way the earth is at the moment, they can support only 2 billion people. We have 8 billion people on earth. Okay. So already the earth is under 4 times pressure that it can sustain.
I see.
Okay, in terms of resources, in terms of its capability to live. So because of that, the human race is predicted to be extinct by 2100. No more humans after 2100. This is serious. This is serious. This is scientific. This has been discussed in United Nations by top people. After 2100, there'll be no more humans. There might still be Earth in whatever way Earth is, but there will be no more humans. Maybe there'll be small pockets of human, like rats, like that. no government, no nothing anymore. Okay, those people who live underground or something, maybe they can live. But between 2100 to now, there will be a deterioration. Things will start falling down, falling. So we know that it's going to fall. So because of that, it's like driving a big ship. Okay, you're driving a oil tanker, for example. You cannot hit the brake immediately. The ship will not stop, just like a car will stop. You'll need to some time for it to slow down and stop. Right?
True.
So the earth cannot stop just like that. So they are working towards 2050 to do that slow down. We have something has to happen by 2050 if the ship is going to stop by 2100. Something must happen 2050 already. But it takes time to heal the earth. You cannot just tomorrow stop smoke, producing smoke, and all the smoke that's surrounding the earth will tomorrow disappear. No, the smoke will still be there. It takes many years for the smoke to go down. So this kind of things. So 2050 is the deadline for things to happen, not 2100. Then we need to test first whether we can reach 2050 or not, the way we want to reach it. That deadline is 2030. So there is a test plan that we are doing right now, and that test plan will show some results by 2030. We are going to move with more test plans until we reach 2050.
I see.
So they spoke about this in last year, end of last year, at COP26, United Nations, in Glasgow. And then they set certain targets. And then one of the target is global warming, how warm the temperature goes. So we cannot hit certain range already. We cannot hit that limit, but that limit has a range. So we were trying not to hit that range over 10 years. What happened was, from Glasgow until now, which is about 7 months, we already hit that thing.
Oh.
This is the same like you have a budget that's supposed to last you until 2030. I have a budget supposed to last me until 2030. In 6 months, your budget is finished. This is what we need to really think about right now. We really need to think about this. It is not a dream or it's not anything anymore. We are still driving our cars, going out when it's not necessary and all that. As if this is just some fiction or some story some people tell. No, it's really happening right now. This is what we need to think. If you're talking about not thinking about money, what do you need to think? This is really what we need to be thinking right now. So it comes back to the topic, there will be catastrophes. How do we sustain ourselves during catastrophe? How do we plan for it? The one that we're talking about just now. We just survive one, then we are going up again. But if the next one comes in, how prepared are we to tackle that? And what should we be doing to help each other?
In other words, like there's a need for a unification in the whole world, because when people are unified, they can really think a good plan for countering like everything that comes to its path.
Exactly. What you say is very true, because the air does not belong to you, does not belong to me. So if you were to work hard in your country, for example, to clean the air, but I don't work hard in my country to clean the air, you will still suffer.
True.
And then everybody will say no point in doing that because if I work hard to clean the air, anyway, the other guy will not clean the air. So no point for me to clean the air. So we need to bring that unity together.
It's true.
Exactly true what you say about being unified about this kind of thing.
Yeah, and I guess it's really needed, but it's a very big problem because like for 2000 years, the world was not or has not been unified,
Yes, it's a big problem. It's a test of humanity. Never before we have this kind of situation that we really need to be united. It's true. What you say is very true.
Yeah.
And remember that by 2050, 2045, you will start to see catastrophe. It's not going to be suddenly the world end. No, the world will die a slow death. And then there will be a lot of catastrophe. Children will die. There will not be enough food. All kinds of disease will come. It's going to be a very sad story of mankind.
True. That's really sad. Like if that day comes, and there's no preparation being done on the humanity side, then humanity will cease to exist.
Exactly. This is very true. by 2010, 2100, humanity will cease to exist the way it is right now. You'll be a Mad Max world, or people will live underground, that kind of thing.
I guess like that's the way of the nature to cleanse its like people. I mean, like to heal itself.
Yeah, but nature is very big. The universe is very big. We're talking about Earth by itself. This is the reality. The Earth was designed in such a way only for that. And we decided to change the design of the Earth. But we
Right.
were not careful enough in executing it. We don't have an overall plan. We were like looking at small things. As we go.
And our technology right now is not also like good enough. It's still harmful,
Correct. We do have some technology, but then it's again the question of brains. We also have a lot of brains, but we are not using them. In fact, a lot of government don't like brainy people up there. It's a
True.
threat to their power and all this kind of thing. So you can say that 50% of it is restrained by human nature themselves, of
Yeah.
greed and this kind of thing. But we still
True.
have people who we are in a ship that's sinking. The ship is sinking. But on the ship itself, there are still humans who are still trying to make sure that they are rich on the ship. They
Actually,
are not looking at the ship is sinking itself.
actually, it's good if like there's an organization for this. I mean, like a secret society or secret organization that will do some kind of planning. It's really good to be part of it because it's something that will does good for the humanity. I mean, like
There is the organization. It's United Nations. So if you are interested in that, you should. I mean, in your country, you can talk to United Nations people there. You can bring up people and say volunteer. Okay, we want to work together with this. United Nations recognize pockets of people like this. You look at COP26. Last year, they called people from Africa, from all those Polynesian countries to talk in front of the whole world. People like you, people like me, that volunteer to do something is given recognition, so that we can use their platform to actually address the whole world what needs to be done. So we don't have to do secret society. We can work together with United Nations to push for this agenda, basically.
yeah, I guess that's also true because there's already like big organizations like that. That is already like a planning ahead of time.
Right. Okay then. So next step is I wait for your confirmation, then we proceed, and then we can also have I like to have this conversation continue with you. So maybe next Monday or next Sunday or something, we can talk about the opportunities that we are working with. In the meantime, I need to talk to some people first because I'm not alone in this. Whether they're okay or not with this, and if they're okay, then we have something to talk about maybe by Sunday or something like that.
Sure. You just let me know. Like I'm always open on my WhatsApp line.
Okay, great. So then thank you very much. Have a great weekend ahead coming up.
Sure, it's my pleasure. You too. Have a great weekend coming up as well. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
My pleasure as well, Joe.